So many different people don't allow themselves to be themselves. They don't allow themselves to express who they really are truly at the core. They feel like they have to live a lie. They feel like they have to have filters. They feel like they can't be authentic. And it's because they never gave themselves permission to just be who they are fully, to be in their truth, to fully live the life that they want to live without justifications, without rationalizations, and allow themselves just to live that life that they know they can live. They feel like they have to be tied to certain people. They feel like they're obliged to do certain things that they know they don't want to do. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to give yourself permission to be who you are fully and to live the life that you truly want to live. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for free consultation. So the first thing I want you to understand is that you're allowed to live your life. You're allowed to live your life. I just want you to know that right now. You're allowed to live your life. If you want to become an artist, you're allowed to become an artist. If you want to go to school, you're allowed to go to school. If you want to drop out of school, you're allowed to drop out of school. If you want anything in your life, you're allowed to want that thing that you want in your life. You have full permission to be who you want to be. You are allowed to live your life. I give you permission to live your life right now. And this is the thing, is that sometimes we need somebody else to just tell us, because we feel like we're so tied to certain people that we can't actually give ourselves the opportunity to live the life that we really want for ourselves. And so I just wanted you to know, before I go deeper into this video, you're allowed to live your life. And anybody that tells you otherwise is most likely not living their life. If somebody tells you you're not allowed to live your life, there's a high probability that they're not actually living their life either. And so the key is to understand that you're allowed to do what it is that you want. You don't have to justify yourself to people. You can, if you want, to comfort them, but it would be for them. You're allowed to do what it is that you want. You can step into the role that you prefer to step into, and you do not have to explain yourself to anybody unless you actually want. And that's the masculine freedom that we all have, that we all deserve. You're allowed to be free. You're allowed to live the life that you want. And that's the first way to give yourself permission to be who you are, to be who you really are 100% fully, is understand that you are allowed to live your life. And I'm giving you permission, and you should give yourself permission to understand that you are in fact allowed to live the life that you really want. Now, the second thing you can do is understand that living truthfully, telling the truth to people and being fully honest and sharing what it is that your true feelings are, taking actions on the things that you truly want to take action on, this is going to create what I call the win-win dynamic. Because when you live truthfully, when you truly share with people how you feel, you connect into the present moment, you fully connect to the present moment, and you share your truth, you act on your truth, you live the life that you want without rationalizations. You can still be there for people. You can still open up your heart. You can still let people know that you're there for them. But at the same time, you live your life the way that you want truthfully. You're actually putting other people in their power. And this is huge. This is what some people don't understand. People are so afraid to live the life that they truly want. They're so afraid to live the life that they want and give themselves permission to live that life because they feel selfish and they feel like they're being guilty for doing so. But what a lot of people don't understand is that when you live your life truthfully, when you live your life based on your truth and what feels authentic to you, you're actually not only putting yourself in your power, you're putting other people in their power. So if somebody is trying to control you and tell you that you're not allowed to live your life, and then you live your life anyways, and you give yourself the opportunity to do what it is that you want anyways, despite what family said to you, despite what society said to you, despite what somebody said to you, that's actually putting them in their power too, because you're showing that person at a very, very deep level, even though to them it's going to be on the surface, but at a deep, deep, deep subconscious level. When you live your truth no matter what, you're telling people that, oh my gosh, they have the opportunity to live their truth too, and they haven't been doing it. Because you can't tell people to live the truth. I'm doing that right now, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes what works better is to be an example and to fully live your truth and lead by example, and people will get pulled into that energy because they subconsciously feel that, wow, you're actually living the life that you want, and they know that they can't control you. That's hard for the ego. It's so hard for the ego to see that it can't control you. It's so hard for family to see that you're allowed to be an individual. It's so hard for society to see that you don't have to play by the rules of the way society lays out the rules. You're allowed to do that, and that's hard for the ego. But the thing is, just because it's hard for the ego doesn't mean that should be the reason that you don't live into your truth. If you don't live into your truth because it's hard for somebody to see you level up, you're doing a disservice to that person. If you don't live into your truth because you're afraid that's going to hurt somebody else in the short term, you're actually hurting them in the long term. Living truthfully is actually a win-win. It is actually something that will put you not only into your power, but it will put everybody else into their power as well. And this is the power of living truthfully and giving yourself permission to be who you are. Because when you individually decide, I'm going to live my life, I'm going to create reality how I want it, you're automatically, energetically showing other people that they are allowed to do that too. And when you create peace for yourself, when you learn to create peace for your own mind, and then you live from that state of consciousness, that's going to rub off on other people's state of consciousness as well. The collective starts with the individual, and that means you living your life and allowing that to lead to the win-win automatically, just because you're in alignment with who you are. Now, the third thing you can do to give yourself permission to be who you are fully is to understand that living a lie will create resistance. When you're living a lie, when you don't give yourself permission to be who you are, and this is going to be a little bit of the negative explanation of things. So when you live into your truth, very powerful things happen. But here's the thing. If you live a lie, that is going to create so much resistance in your body. That's going to create so much resistance in the people around you. And it's not going to be easy to live your life. And it's not going to be easy for other people to live their life when you live a life that's based on lies. When you're living a life that's based on lies, that's a lose-lose scenario. That means that you lose, and also the people around you are going to lose as well. Because when you're living a lie, when you're living a life that's not based on something that you want, but you're living a life for somebody else, what's going to happen is maybe you might live into that vision that they want for you temporarily, but in the long run, you're going to start to hold resentment towards that person. That person's going to start to feel sad and angry because they see you're not happy. And it's not going to be a win-win. It's two people that never had the courage to live into their truth because they both lived into lies. Now the question is, do you want to live into a lie and create resistance? Or do you want to step into a reality where the truth will set you free? Because the truth will truly set you free. The truth will allow you to share how you feel regardless of the circumstance. Living truthfully will allow you to not necessarily have life play out exactly how you want in the way that your ego thinks it's going to play out, but it allows you to live life moment by moment in a way where you do what feels right to you in your soul and your heart. And this is the key to life. This is literally the key to life. The key to life in a nutshell is live truthfully and live from your heart space. If you do that unapologetically, you will not only change your life, but you will change the world. That's what I believe. I believe that if you change your own life, that's how you change the world. If you want to see the world wake up, if you want to see the world be more peaceful, if you want to see the world be more joyful, if you want to see the world step into their power, then step into your power. Live the life that you really want and watch how that starts to impact the collective. And if you do the opposite, if you live a lie that's based on resistance, if you live a lie that's based on lies, you're going to lose, and the people around you are going to lose too, because they're going to feed off that energy. And I hate to even say these words because it's hard for me to say that, and it's hard for me to say that living a lie creates resistance and living a lie is a lose-lose, but it really is. Like imagine if you do something for family, family wants their kids to be a lawyer, doctor, and then for 20 years you live into that reality where all along you wanted to be an artist of some kind, and now 20 years later you live a life that you hate. You're living into regrets. You're having regrets. You now have weird angers, and even though you love your family, you have resentment towards those people because you were living a life that's based on a lie. It wasn't based on truth. It wasn't based on that feeling you had in the back of your heart the entire time where you wanted to be an artist. It was something that you settled. You settled, right? I'm not saying you did that, but some people do that, and that's the reality they live into. And so when you give yourself permission to be who you are, what you're really doing is that you're actually setting yourself free, and you're setting the entire planet free. So just to conclude this video, what I want you to understand is that you are allowed to live your life unapologetically. No apologies needed. You don't have to apologize for being an artist that you know is going to impact the world in a positive way. You don't have to apologize for wanting to be a YouTuber if you want to be a YouTuber. You don't have to apologize for doing whatever it is that you want to do, because that's going to impact you and the world in a positive way. And this is the key to life. This is the key to happiness right here. You want to know the key to happiness? Follow your heart and live life that you really want. I know it sounds cliche, but this is real stuff. This is real stuff. This is going to be the difference between you literally living a life that you enjoy and then living a life for somebody else that you don't enjoy. And we only get one life. We only get one life. We're only here on this planet one time. And then when we live a life for somebody else, that's going to create so much resistance, so much anger, so much resentment that's completely unnecessary. Where there's an option, there's a timeline for you where you can actually live into the reality that you want, and then also create a deeper connection with the people that are in your life. It doesn't have to be a win-lose. It can be a situation where you actually win and then they win as well. They win as well. It's not just you win and then they lose, it's that you win and then they win. It's a win-win. It's you win and then they win. You win and then they also win. And so I want you to understand that I'm giving you full permission right now. Like if you have any guilt, if you have any anger, if you have any resentment towards family, if you have any negativity towards somebody, if you feel like you're not allowed to be your truth, I just want to speak from my heart to your heart right now. You're allowed to live your life. You're allowed to live your life. Even if you feel like right now you're not allowed to, I'm telling you you're allowed to. I'm telling you right now, one-on-one, in this video. Okay, this energetic connection that we have right now, you're watching this video this far, you're allowed to live your life. You're allowed to step into your power. I give you full permission to step into your power and to create the life that you want on your terms, because you are a powerful being that can create reality on your terms. And all you have to do is create the boundaries, give yourself permission to be who you are, and watch how magic starts to happen in your life and how the universe and life will protect you when you begin to give yourself full permission to be your full 100%, not 60%, not 50%, not 40%, not 70, not 80, not 90. When you give yourself 100% permission to be who you fully are, watch how your life begins to change in a much more powerful way, in a magical way where you are supported, where you feel peace in your body, and nobody can take that peace away from you. Nobody can take your peace away from you unless you allow them to, unless you allow them to enter your energetic space. Once again, I gave you permission to fully live your life. I gave you permission to fully step into your power and to create the reality that you know you deserve to live into. So that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. As always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.